Hello and welcome you all in today's class. In the class, we will study about the Botanical Survey of India. Earlier, we have studied the botanical gardens, their importance, objectives, and today we will going to learn about the Botanical Survey of India, its objective and contribution into the Indians flora recording. So, moving forward toward the introduction. So, starting with the introduction, the Botanical Survey of India is one of the oldest and most prestigious institutions dedicated to the study of plant diversity in India, and it was established in 1890, and the BCI it was established in 1980. Hello and welcome you all in today's class. In this class, we will study. Hello and welcome you all in today's class. In this class, we will study about the Botanical Survey of India. Previously, we have studied about the botanical gardens and we have also studied different botanical gardens of worlds and India. We have seen that how botanical gardens are important role playing in the documentation of vegetation, and they also serve as a ex situ conservation of the plants. And Botanical Survey of India, it's also playing a very important role in recording the plants of India especially. And so in this session, we will going to study the objectives and contribution of the Botanical Survey of India. So starting with the introduction, the Botanical Survey of India is one of the oldest and most prestigious institutions dedicated to the study of plant diversity in India, and it was established in 1890, and BSI operates under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change of the Government of India. And the Botanical Survey of India has many regional centers and a special program across the country. So these centers help in identifying and recording a different plant species, and they also study how plants affect the environment and work on finding ways to protect them. So this detailed overview elaborates the history, reorganization, role, objectives and contribution of the BSI in the field of botany. And you can see in this image, this is the banyan tree, which is the logo of the Botanical Survey of India, which is present in the Indian Botanical Garden in Howrah. It is also served as a logo for the Botanical Survey of India. So let's discuss the detailed overview of the history, reorganization, role, objectives and contribution of the BSI in the field of botany. So let's discuss them one by one. So if we see the history of Botanical Survey of India, it starts with the ancient time in which India's very stable resources have attracted global interest. And beginning with the trade between ancient Egypt and India, followed by the Arab, Turks, Portuguese, Dutch, French and English. So in 18th century, there was a growing interest in botanical collection with East India Company, missionaries and colonial governments of Bengal, Madras and Bombay involved in this particular. And due to this, in 1787, the East India Company established a garden at Sibipur in Calcutta. So it started by this establishment the Siblipur, Calcutta, that is the botanical garden which is established by the East India Company. And then the Botanical Survey of India was formally established on the date February 13, that is on 1890, with the George King as a superintendent of the Royal Botanical Garden in the Sibipur. So with this, the establishment of the Botanical Survey of India is come into the existence. So the Sir George King, which is also the first official ex-director of this particular Royal Botanical Garden. So this is the history how it is established, the Botanical Survey was established in India. So in the original structure, the country was divided into 4 regions by the Botanical Survey of India, like the East, West, North and South, and each managed by the regional director. And early survey span India like the Burma and also Malay Peninsula. So in this way it is covered the whole region of the India, and beside this is also covered the some adjacent regions of the India also. Then after the retirement of Dr. C.C. Cordler in 1939, the BSI activity showed and many functions were transferred to the other departments. So initially it is a very huge department, then slightly moving forward, it is divided its work into different departments of India. And if we see the reorganization of Botanical Survey of India at present, as we have seen that it started in 1890, then after the establishment it is also then reorganized, because now the work has been distributed to different departments. So this reorganization is done in the 1952. So the Botanical Survey of India was reorganized in 1952 based on the recommendation from the officers on the special duty. And the main headquarters was set up in Calcutta, and along with this 4 regional offices in Dehradun, that is in Dehradun, Coimbatore, Pune and Shillong. So beside this, they also established a Central Botanical Laboratory that was set up in Lucknow. And 1957, the famous Sibilpur Herbarium at the National Botanical Garden in Howrah was handed over to the survey to develop into the National Herbarium. So this is also transferred to the next. So if we see the on March 29, 54, the Government of India reorganized the BSI headquarters at the Kolkata along with the 4 circles, and these circles are the first one, that is the BSI, that is the Southern Circle, that is in Coimbatore, that is established in 10 October 1955. Then BSI is Eastern Circle at Shillong, that is established in, come into the existence in the 1st April 1956. Then the next regional center is the BSI Western Circle at Pune, that is that time is Pune. Now it is also established on the 12th December 1955, and the BSI Northern Circle is at Dehradun on 1st August 1956. So these are the 4 regional centers of the BSI. So in this way it is established, these 4 regional centers with the headquarters at the Kolkata. So these are the main 4 circles of the BSI. Then, as I have told you earlier, that a research laboratory, that is the Central Botanical Laboratory at Lucknow, was established in December 1957 with the objective to study the various aspects of plant biology, especially plant cytology, plant physiology, plant chemistry, seed biology, ecology with interdisciplinary approaches. So simultaneously around the same period, Royal Botanical Garden at Kolkata was renamed as Indian Botanical Garden, and Calcutta and the Herbarium as Central National Herbarium in Kolkata. So these are the renamed, that is the Royal Botanical Garden is renamed as the Indian Botanical Garden, which is the largest botanical garden of India, and the Central National Herbarium, which is also the largest herbarium of India. So these are the renamed, and a laboratory which is established in Lucknow for the research on plant biology. So in this way we can see that the Sibilpur Herbarium, which is established in 1957, it is renamed as the Indian Botanical Garden and transferred to the BSI for the development into the National Herbarium. So then a new central office was opened also in Allahabad in 1962. This is the new central circle that is established in 1962 at Allahabad, which is also present. Then transfer of Indian Botanical Garden in 1963. So later, that is an Indian Botanical Garden in Sibilpur, Howrah was formally transferred also to the survey. Then there is an expansion of their circles, like 2 new circles was created in 1972, the Andaman and Nicobar Circle in Port Blair and the Arid Zone Circle in the Jodhpur. So in this way you can see that there is an additional field station, like the Arunachal field station was set up in the New Itanagar in 1977, and the Sikkim Himalaya Circle was established in 1979. So in this way you can see initially it is started with the headquarters at Kolkata, and there is a 4 regional center. Then there is an expansion has been done, and it is developed a new circle, that is the Central Circle. Now it become the 5 circles, and they are also established the regional centers, expansion of these circles into the 2 new circles and the additional field stations. So in this way, these are the some circles. So if we see in total at present, there is a some important circle which are, you can see in addition to 4 circles, they are already established in the, there is more cities were established to explore these central circles, like this is the developed in 1962, as we have seen that the first there is a 4 circle, then these are the established in subsequent years, like added circle of Jodhpur, then Andaman and Nicobar circle at the Port Blair, then Arunachal Pradesh circle at Itanagar, in Sikkim Himalaya circle of Gangtok, then Botanical Garden of Indian Republic at Noida, and Deccan Circuit at Hyderabad. So you can see there is a expansion of BSI from time to time, because we know that India is a very diverse country. It is also called as a mega diverse nation because of its different habitats. So we cannot control from a particular center from the Kolkata to record all the vegetations of a country from only one center. So time to time, with the need, they expanded their circles from one headquarter to the many regional circles, and you can see here the list of the circles which are now also expanding. So if we see, as we have discussed earlier, the Botanical Survey of India, which is BSI, which has a headquarter at the Calcutta, which is now called as the Kolkata, and so the headquarter that is the Kolkata. Then they have also Central Botanical Laboratory also in Kolkata. They have a Central National Herbarium and Indian Botanical Garden. So these all are the part of this particular BSI, which is at the headquarter of the Kolkata. Then they also have some centers, like you can see this is the Northern Circle in Dehradun, then Southern Circle, this one is the Eastern Circle, in this one is the Western Circle at Pune, then Central Circle which is established later, then Arid Zone Circle, Andaman and Nicobar Port, then Industrial Section that is established in Indian Museum in Kolkata, then Regional Botanical, that is the Royal Botanical Garden in Kew. So this is the chart showing the organization circles of BSI. You can see how many circles of BSI is present in India, and they are performing the work of documenting the Indian flora. So they are playing a very important role. So if we see the role of Botanical Survey of India, the BSI is one of the oldest and most important institution for studying the plant in India, as it is worked on the exploring, recording and protecting the country's diverse plant life. So the Botanical Survey of India leads offer to the study and protect the Indian plants, and it plays an important role in plant research and conservation. So it works help to improve our understanding of India's plant life and contributes to the global knowledge about the plants. So if we see the objectives of the Botanical Survey of India, starting from that is the exploration of India's flora, which is the one of the most important and the main function of the Botanical Survey of India is to carry out the detailed field survey throughout the India to find and record the plant species, especially in the remote or lesser known areas. So it focuses on the exploring various ecosystems, including the tropical rainforests, dry desert, high altitude meadows and coastal wetlands. So this work leads to the discovery of new plant species, some of which may have important uses in medicine, economy or in the environment. So it is the main function of a BSI is to exploration of India's flora. Then the next is the documentation of plant diversity. The BSI focus on the recording of the plants of India's, creating a database that includes rare, native and important plants. By documenting these species, the BSI helps to understand whether they grow, their roles in nature and how they might be used. So the findings are often shared in scientific journal, botanical books and the well-known Flora of India series, which describes the plants that found across the country. So it is a very important, that is a Flora of India that is published by this Botanical Survey of India, that documents the different plants of the India. Then The another one is the conservation of plant species. So the BSI is dedicated to protected India's plants and especially those that are endangered or at risk. So through survey, it identifies the plant that are in the danger of disappearing and develops plan to protect them. So this include creating conservation programs, seed banks and protected areas. The goal is to preserve biodiversity and restore the balance of nature by safeguarding the plants that are essential for the environment. Then the next one is the research and education. The BSI is focused on the advanced research in plant classification, ecology and conservation. It offers opportunities for researchers, botanists and students to conduct plant research related studies, and the result of this research help us to better understand the plant diversity and its importance for human health, the environment and the climate change adaptation. So these findings contribute deeper understanding of plant diversity and importance of human well-being, ecosystem services and climate resilience. So they are also playing a very important role in understanding our knowledge to the plant sciences. Then the next one is the maintenance of herbarium. The BSI works to preserve plant specimens for scientific study and making sure that accurate records of plant diversity are kept for future research and conservation. So this involves collecting, identifying, cataloging and organizing plant specimens from different ecosystems across the India, which are used as reference for studies in plant classification, ecology and the environment. So the result is a well-organized herbarium database that supports research in plant taxonomy, biodiversity conservation, climate change and provides valuable resources for education and policy making. So they are playing a very important role in the maintenance of herbarium, as I have told you earlier that the herbarium in Kolkata, which is the largest herbarium of India. Then in botanical research, the BSI aims to increase the scientific knowledge about the plant biodiversity, ecology and classification by systematically researching and documenting plant species in India. This includes conducting studies on plant classification, creating plant inventories, researching the use of plants in traditional medicine, and studying their ecology to understand their distribution, conservation, and potential uses. So, the outcome is the development of detailed plant guides, identification tools, conservation plans, and record of new plant species, all of which help to protect India's rich plant heritage and promote the sustainable use of plant resources. So these identification points are very important, that is developed by the BSI, that is the Botanical Survey of India, is very important in identifying the important plants for the people, and these plants are uses in the different types of in mode. Then in case of collaboration and networking, the BSI works to build partnership with the national and international organization to share knowledge, resources and expertise in plant classification and biodiversity research. So it focuses on creating network for joint research, skill development and conservation projects to tackle challenges in plant biodiversity and its sustainable use. So this leads to the improved scientific collaboration, better data sharing and more effective strategies for the conserving and managing the plant resources sustainably. Then the last one is the Botanical Survey of and Field Studies Act. It aims to explore and document India's rich plant diversity, focusing on rare, native and economically valuable species for conservation, research and sustainable use. It conducts detailed field studies in various ecosystems from forests to wetlands to better understand the plant distribution, ecology and their roles in environmental processes. This results in the accurate botanical records and this discovery of new species, assessment of conservation status and the development of herbarium collection for research, education and biodiversity protection that is possible because of the Botanical Survey of India. Then if we see the contribution of Botanical Survey of India. So BSI has contributed a lot in flora as it has played a key role in documenting and compiling flora catalog that offers vital taxonomic and ecological details about the Indian plant species. So noteworthy contributions include the flora of British India and the flora of India. These are the two notable contributions, that is the flora of British India and the flora of India, which serve as important resources for the plant identification and research. So these are the two notable works of the Botanical Survey of India. And in case of National Herbarium development, the transfer of renowned CV Pool Herbarium in Howrah to the BSI has been the instrumental in developing into the National Herbarium. And this herbarium has become a vital resource for the research on the Indian plant species, and it's supporting taxonomic studies and conservation efforts. Then, in case of conservation of indigenous plants, the BSI play a crucial role in identifying and conserving indigenous plant species, and its work in cataloging and mapping these species has significantly contributed to the national conservation policies and initiatives aimed at protecting India's plant biodiversity. Then, if we see the role of BSI in research in economic and medicinal plants, the BSI has made a significant contribution to the study of plants with economic value, particularly medicinal plants. Many of these plants are integral to the traditional Indian medicine system like Ayurveda and Unani, and the BSI research helps to understand their potential uses and benefits. In case of plant identification services, the BSI provides plant identification services to researchers, conservationists, and the public, helping to enhance the understanding of India's diverse flora and supporting scientific and conservation efforts. Because we know that for doing research on any particular plant, we have to first identify it. Before that, we cannot use as a research plant or test plants. So it is a very important to identify correctly a specific plant species. Then the promotion of botanical education through its outreach and educational program, the BSI has played a key role in promoting the botanical research and education in India. It has trained students, researchers, and professionals in plant taxonomy, conservation, and ecology, fostering a deeper understanding of plant science. In case of development of regional circles, BSI has a regional circles and field station across India, as we have seen earlier, such as the Andaman and Nicobar Circle, Arid Zone Circle, Sikkim and Himalaya Circle has expanded the scope of research and documentation creation of plant diversity in various ecological regions. So, this enables more targeted studies of plants in diverse environment across the country, because we know that we cannot study the whole plant from a particular space. We have to visit different places. So, if we have a particular center or station, so we can easily move from a place that is nearer to that location. So, we can go for the collection and then maintain the record easily. Then the collaboration and networking of BSI with national and international institutions and universities and organizations have helped to create a global network for sharing knowledge on plant diversity and conservation. These partnerships foster the joint research and the exchange of expertise to address plant conservation challenges, like with the Kews Botanical Garden. This is quite helpful. So, if we see the important achievements of Botanical Survey of India, so if we see the national, that is the collection of the plant that is done by the BSI, that is the around 3.2 million, which includes the 280 types of plants. And if we see the live germ plants holding at the BSI, that is the 1,75,000 that belong to the 7,050 species. So, if we see the new discoveries, there is a discovery of one new family that is done by the BSI. They also discover the 32 new genera and 925 species, including subspecies and varieties. So, if we see, they also play an important role in discoveries of new plant, and they also have a recorded new plants around 2500. And during the year in 2010, the scientists of BSI published one new genus, 23 new species including 5 new varieties of the plant, and discovered 2 genera, 60 species and 5 varieties as new record for the India. So you can see here this is a quite important achievements of Botanical Survey of India, as it collected of around 3.2 million plants. They have live germ plants, and they are also discovering the new plant species. So it is a very good number that is done by the BSI, which is now you can see the important achievements of BSI. And if you see, they also playing important role in the digitalization of the herbarium specimen, that is digitized by around 33,000 specimens of digitized, and the archival material digitized, that is the 60,000, and the textile design, natural dyes and botanical digitized around the 10,500. And if you see the main publications of Botanical Survey of India, that is the national, that is the 33 titles they have published. They also published the state flora 40 with the 41 titles. Beside this, they also published the several district flora with the 185 titles. And they also have periodicals like Nilambo, Envis News, Vanaspati Vani. So these are the, you can see it has a 52 volumes. Envis News has a 16 volume and Vanaspati Vani has a 20 volumes across. So these are the some publications of Botanical Survey of India that documenting the plant diversity of India. So here in this image you can see the some publications of BSI. Here you can see this is the Nilambo, natural dyes. So these are the some publication that is done by the BSI. So here you can see the list of botanical gardens that also maintained by the Botanical Survey of India, as we have already studied the botanical gardens. So many of them are maintained by the Botanical Survey of India, because maintenance of botanical gardens is a very important task. Although we can create them, but maintenance is a very important step. So this is also done by the Botanical Survey of India, like Achar Jagdish Chandra Bose Indian Botanical Garden, which is also maintained by, which has a area around 110 hectare. So this is also maintained by BSI. Then Central Regional Center at Allahabad, which is also has a 3 hectare area, which is also maintained by BSI. Then Southern Regional Center, that is the Yercaud. Then Eastern Regional Center, that is the Shillong. Western Regional Center, that is the Madhua Pune. Then Northern Regional Center, that is the Pauri. Then Arunachal Regional Center, Andaman and Nicobar Regional Center, Sikkim, and that is the Gangtok, and Arid Zone Center at Jodhpur, then BGI and Noida. So these are, you can see, these are the list of botanical garden that comes under the BSI. So and they have a quite good number of the, and beside this they also have a herbarium holdings. As you have, we have already told you that the, like the Central National Herbarium, which has the largest herbarium of India, which has around 2 million species, that is have a around 15,000 type of specimen, which is also maintained by the Botanical Survey of India. Then Eastern Regional Center at Shillong, Assam, it also has around 2,71,000 species and around 509 types. Then Southern Regional Center at Coimbatore, which is also an acronym, have a MH, has around 2,75,000 total holdings of herbarium, and they have a types 2,750. Then Western Regional Center Pune, then Northern Regional Centers. So you can see a number of herbaria are also maintained by the Botanical Survey of India. If we see the total, there is around 31,39,300, and they include around 19,280 type specimen, which is have a very quite number. So all these are herbarium holdings of BSI, which is maintained by the Botanical Survey of India, which is very important for the study in botanical taxonomy. Because for the taxonomy, we have to identify correctly the plant specimens, and we can do it by the either herbarium, because not all the plants are available from the every time. So they are playing a very important roles in maintaining the botanical gardens and herbarium. So that's all for today's session. Hope you have enjoyed the role of Botanical Survey India that playing in India for that documenting the number of plant species that present in India, because we know India is a very diverse nation that have a different types of climatic condition, and to document them it is very important. So all these is done by the Botanical Survey of India, and India which species become endangered. So what are the strategies to protect them, that is maintained, policies is maintained by the government. So it is initially it is a very important to report which species needed the protection. Then these herbarium and botanical garden are available for the researchers, so we can study them with the by the taking the permission of the Botanical Survey of India, and we can be the doing the research if a specific plant they play a very important role in the development of the plant taxonomy. So thank you all of you for joining this session. Thank you all of you.